the Rosa Parks incident.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, like, you just mentioned something about it led to so that incident led to a lot of other activists rising up and speaking up. So it actually reminded me of what happened in 2020 with the murder of George Floyd, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like, I don't want to say history repeating itself, but it seems like it always takes something happens drastically, and black people are like, fuck it, we're not taking this shit anymore, and then it leads the charge. So we'll talk about something like that in an episode called leadership and becoming a leader. And do we really need someone to take the charge before we actually wake up? Because it seems like if you go back to history, it's like something happens, someone's like, nah, fuck it, we're not taking this anymore, and then which is not a good thing sorry, I'm not saying that's not a good thing. What I'm saying is, why are we waiting for that to happen?
I think it speaks to the type of people we are, and I think this is good for non-blacks to take note of, actually, because I think one of the fears for giving us unity or giving us equality is that we'll do what was done to us.
Right.
And I think situations like this prove that we're not like that. It takes a lot to get us angry and get us riled up. And it's the same people that
What you talking about, yo? I've been seeing the rap videos and the movies.
yeah, that's acting.
To the media, boy.
But I mean, because you can't, it wouldn't. Rosa Parks isn't the first and isn't the only person to have problems with sitting on the back of the bus.
Of course not.
But it eventually you get fed up of being treated a certain way. And it takes it. Look how much it took for someone to finally be like, you know what, fuck.
That situation is fucked up though, because even when I watch, not to say the footage, but you watch what was going on around it, it's just like these white people were really like taking charge of this bus and say, yo, listen, the only way you guys can sit is if we're not really on the bus. But once a white person comes on, you better get up and get that seat.
You know
what I'm saying? And that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And
that was the rule.
That was the rule. I mean, we're still going through stuff like that today. It's not us anymore, but
it's whether it's the boardroom or you know what I'm saying. So I'm glad you mentioned Rosa Parks wasn't the only person that was fed up, and she wasn't the first. We're gonna talk about. So a lot of people like to call this woman the Canadian Rosa Parks, but actually, Rosa Parks is the American her. So her name is Viola Desmond. And she had a similar case. I think not a few years, maybe decades before Rosa Parks in Canada. So we'll have an episode on Viola Desmond and the story of her at a later date.